My brothers and sisters, as we begin to celebrate this rite in praise of God on the occasion of the unveiling of this beautiful new image of Venerable Michael McGivney for public veneration, we must be properly disposed and have a clear appreciation of the meaning of this celebration. Today we praise you for the gifts of the Spirit bestowed on Venerable Michael McGivney, in whose honor we dedicate this statue. May we follow in the footsteps of the Lord, keeping before us the example of Venerable Michael McGivney, and grow to a maturity measured not by nature, but by the fullness of Christ. May we proclaim his gospel by word and deed, and shouldering our crosses daily, expend ourselves for others in your service. As we carry out our earthly duties, may we be filled with the Spirit of Christ, and keep our eyes fixed on the glories of heaven, where you, Father, receive those who will reign with your Son forever and ever.
Amen. It's my pleasure to represent the student body on this day, to really give thanks for all that the Knights have done for us. In this year for priests, we need good examples of holiness. Father Michael McGivney is that example of holiness for us, for those of us that aspire to the priesthood of Jesus Christ. In these hard times that we live, we also need support from the faithful of the Church. I remember when I was in college seminary in 2002, when the scandals first broke out. It was difficult. It was discouraging for a young seminarian. But I remember pins that the Knights of Columbus distributed that said, "In solidarity with our priests." I wore one of those pins, and I was grateful that we had the support of the Knights of Columbus. We have the support of the Knights of Columbus financially. We have the support of their prayers. We have the support of their love. And so all I can do is say thank you for what you do to support vocations. I can really say that I wouldn't be able to be standing here today as a deacon aspiring to the priesthood without your support.
On December 22nd, 1877, Father Michael McGivney was ordained to the priesthood at the Cathedral of the Assumption here in Baltimore. As his family eagerly awaited his return to serve the church in Connecticut, the community here at St. Mary's Seminary and University celebrated the great occasion. Seminarians from across the country studying under the watchful care of the Sulpician Fathers and within the walls of the nation's oldest Catholic seminary raised their glasses to honor the gift of priesthood and a man filled with spirit and hope. 132 years later, another group of seminarians, united by the bonds of brotherhood and the same fraternal spirit that Father McGivney experienced during his time in Baltimore, gather again to honor a humble priest and the brotherhood of Catholic gentlemen he inspired. Earlier this past fall, when we returned to St. Mary's for another year of seminary studies, conversations spontaneously began in our hallways, classrooms, and across the dining room tables. As seminarians studying for the priesthood in the year for priests, we began to reflect upon our own journeys to answer God's call. After sharing stories and memories, something incredible happened. Despite the various paths that brought each of us here to the seminary, one thing remained constant: the prayers and support of our brother Knights. Whether from the hills of Kentucky or the northern reaches of Maine, Knights of Columbus councils, large and small alike, were a major part of our vocations and an indispensable source of support. With our rector's blessing and encouragement, we decided to commission and fund a life-size bronze bust of Father McGivney, brother Knight and graduate of our seminary. Our intention in undertaking this project has always been simple: to honor the Knights of Columbus for their unwavering support and defense of the Church and her priests and seminarians during this year for priests. As seminarians and future priests, our mission is to bring Christ to the world, to go forth and teach all nations. Today, more than ever, that mission is needed, and today that challenge is great. Filled with hope, thousands of men have walked these halls, and thousands have gone forth to preach the good news to a world thirsting for light and hope. As America's oldest seminary, we at St. Mary's have a rich history. We have a history filled with great and ordinary men like Michael McGivney, men who arrived at St. Mary's filled with hope in a world of uncertainty and men who went on to humbly serve the church with great love and compassion. Today and in the future, as we walk these halls, let us remember always the witness of this man. Let us remember that he was a seminarian much like all of us, and that he was able to leave his mark profoundly upon the church and the world. Most of all, let us never forget that Father McGivney was first and always a priest and shepherd of his people. Brother Knights, today we thank and honor you. Your witness and example are profound, and they are a constant reminder of what it means to serve God and His church. Without your prayers, support, and friendship, we could not be here today. Your countless hours of service to the poor and those in need are a testament not only to your character, but also to your faith.